Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about why we evaluate online sources and how to go about doing so. So as we move more and more into an online world, we must recognize that there are few restrictions to what can be published online and who is allowed to do so. So having these skills is becoming ever more important. Students, teachers, and scholars are increasingly using these spaces to conduct research, have conversations, and present their findings, and they need to do so in the most professional ways. As we build arguments and support them with evidence, we too want to be a trusted source. So, hopefully, by now you've chosen a topic and have begun some initial research, and you've also started to familiarize yourself with how to effectively use databases and search engines like Google Scholar. But sometimes, though, we still have to sift through the inadequate information. So, let's look at how to evaluate online sources. First, let's look at the domain name. The domain name defines the type of authority a website has and is found after the website name in the address bar. You are likely familiar with many of these, the most common one being .com. It was originally used for commercial purposes, but is becoming a little bit more general now. .gov is used by government organizations. .org is generally used by nonprofit organizations. And .edu is for educational purposes like school districts and universities. So you can tell a lot about the purpose of a site by what their domain is. So once you've accessed the site and located your article, you will next think about the people involved, authors and publishers. So look to see who the publisher of the article is. Are they a trusted organization in their field? Might they make a profit off the content? Also, look at the author. Do they use their full name? Are they someone trusted in their field? And also see if they have a biography on the site and what other articles they have published. Next, we'll look at dates. Can you easily tell when the article was published, whether or not it's been updated, and is the information itself also up to date? And we should expect our audiences to check us and our sources, so we should do the same. So see if the author has shared their sources or if there's a reference section. If you're looking at a news article, check to see that they have links and that those links work. If applicable, keep an eye out for graphs, charts, and other infographics. These help to back up the claims in the piece. Additionally, see if the article has been peer-reviewed. This will show the academic research has been looked at by other professionals in the field. You won't see that for all, but it's something good to keep in mind. So finally, let's look at content. Can you, over a quick glance, easily tell the author's purpose for writing the article? Is it to inform, persuade, and who's the audience? Is it the general public or other professionals in that field? So for my research paper, I've decided to do research on COVID-19 or the coronavirus. I've chosen this topic because it is scientific, medical, academic, political, and it's also a personal issue. For a lot of people. So that allows for a lot of legitimate information to be out there, but also a lot of opportunities for people to prey on others' fears and desires to understand the virus. And a lot of people are just seeking information that they want to hear. So let's look at some articles. So I first searched for COVID-19 in Google Scholar and browsed a little bit. And the article I chose is this one. First, I can see that the domain is .gov and the website name is NCBI, which stands for the National Center of Biotechnology Information. So for me, I feel like this publisher and website have authority. I feel they can be trusted. We can next see all of the authors' names and additional affiliation information. So if you click author information, it has further credentials about them. And then right beneath that, we can see the most recent update to the article. So far, I feel confident moving forward, and I trust what I see. Next, at the bottom of the page, you see a very extensive list of references, and if you click on any of the links, they all work. Also, the authors have provided a bunch of figures for us to look at, so that's a little bit of additional information for us to kind of check out. As for the content, I wouldn't necessarily say this is for a general audience. I skimmed it and it uses a lot of medical terminology. So I say this is more likely for medical professionals. But if you were doing research on COVID 19, I think this article hits all of its marks as a solid source. So to show the other end of the spectrum, I found an article on this website called zerohedge.com and it's called Did China Steal Coronavirus from Canada and Weaponize It? So honestly, it is so sensational, I'd probably be concerned that it's satire. But first off, we see a lot of ads on this site, and so to me that means the people that are running the site are profiting on having people come to the site. Next, I notice a couple of authors, and when you click on either of them, Tyler Durden, there's no information on him. And Great Game India is not a person's name, so it is difficult to check on their credentials. And then I can assume the purpose is to inform, but the language is one of fear. If you go down, there are a fair amount of links, but I can see right away that a lot of the information is pretty out of date. It's pretty old. So something just doesn't feel right to me. So my best advice moving forward is go with your gut. If something about a site doesn't seem right, it's okay to move on. There are a lot of other sites out there, and if there isn't a lot of other sites, see what you can learn about that. Why isn't there a lot of information about your topic? And there's a lot of other topics out there. So, all right, thanks for listening, and good luck looking at your sources.